What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well through the grace and mercy of our Lord Jesus Christ. Now, just recently, I think a dear brother sent in a revelation concerning a product which is evil that is coming out to the world or to the market, which we are not supposed to purchase. Now, this product in question happens to be a perfume. And in his revelation, God was actually giving him a warning to bring out that we must not patronize this perfume. However, in his message, he wasn't so specific about the details of the perfume. So most people were asking what the name of the perfume is. And I believe because the product hasn't been on the market yet, there was no name that this brother was able to give in his revelation. But I believe that all we need to do is to remain careful and to remain in prayer with the Lord so that the Lord can give us discernment of what is evil and what is not evil. So what I think we were supposed to learn from this brother's message was that anytime we try to go out to purchase something, we need to first pray to the Lord for the Lord to give us discernment whether to purchase such item or a product. Because as it stands now, we do not know which one is evil and which one is not evil. We all just need to be careful. Now, in this video, I'm going to share another revelation which happens to be a product which is also coming out with another evil motive, which is also about to be launched. Now, in this sister's vision, she was a little bit specific as to where this product is coming from. And this happens to be from the nation of China. Well, this probably might not be something that is related to the government of the country of China, but then it might probably be some individuals that are trying to bring this product out. And the terrible consequence of it is that it is going to cause blurry visions, and then it is going to be very difficult for people to see. This is actually going to cause damage to the visions of people. And it is very important that we listen to this message and then take it into prayer so that we do not fall or end up in their trap. Because the moment you begin to consume this product, it is going to deteriorate your vision, and it is going to be very hard for you to have a good sight. In further details in the vision, she also talked about a mechanism that will be installed in the new mobile phones that will be coming out. Now, this mechanism that will be installed in the mobile phones will be able to detect, track, and send our private informations to the people that are actually behind these kind of phones. We do not know what they are going to use these private informations for, but all we need to know is that we are in evil times, where the devil and his agents are trying as much as possible to track everything that we are doing. And his main motive is to separate us from God. And through the mercy and the grace of God, God is also going to reveal and expose all their evil plans to us so that we will be able to pray and that live a careful life so that we do not fall in the trap of the devil. Now, I just want to say this quick before I play out the video. By the grace of God, hopefully next Saturday, which happens to be the 28th of September, we are hosting an evangelism crusade in South Africa that is in two provinces, Durban and Guantan. I don't know if it's a province or a city, but we're going to host it in two places. I want you to support us in prayer wherever you are. Please pray for our evangelism team in South Africa as they are about to embark on this event to win souls for God. If you are also in South Africa and you would love to volunteer, we want people to support us to do this. If you want to volunteer, just send in your details and then we're going to pray with you and add you up to the team. If you have Bibles, tracts, whatever that you feel that you want to support us with, if it is Bibles, if it is gospel tracts, just reach out to us and then we're going to receive it so that we can share it out to the people that will be sharing the word of God to. Okay, so please just pay close attention as I'm about to play out this message to you. God bless you.
Hi, Mr. Joseph. I had a vision. The Lord revealed to me a nation and the hidden plan they are undergoing to manipulate mankind. Well, I wouldn't say the government of that nation knows about this. This could be coming from some evil individuals in that country. I am permitted to share this so we can all pray against the work of the devil. I saw these events on the 25th of June 2024. In this vision, I found myself in a place that resembled an old abandoned car garage. I saw rusted shells of vehicles, long forgotten, filled the lot. The surrounding buildings were no better, half-finished structures with crumbling walls as if the hands that had started them had walked away. It looked like the world had moved on and left this place behind. As I walked between the ruined cars and abandoned buildings, I felt so strong that something or someone was monitoring my steps. It wasn't a tangible presence, but an unsettling awareness. There was nothing to suggest any life here, no sound of machinery or signs of workers. The deeper I went, the more I noticed odd shapes, strange markings on the walls, symbols that I couldn't understand. I felt as though this place was just not abandoned, but deliberately forgotten. Something in the back of my mind whispered that I shouldn't be here, that no good could come from this discovery. One moment the sun was high, and in the next, everything shifted. Without warning, the lights dimmed, the sky darkened instantly, and what had been day was now the soft fading light of the evening. The temperature dropped suddenly. I blinked, disoriented, my sense of time thrown off. How had this evening come so fast? I glanced around, my heart beginning to race. I really felt so uncomfortable. Something about the sudden change in time felt unnatural. As I stood before the uncompleted building, a sudden movement caught my eye. From the shadows of the entrance, figures began to emerge, one by one. They stepped out, all dressed in white lab coats. There were so many of them, men and women. They didn't speak, didn't acknowledge one another. I realized with a sinking feeling that they couldn't see me. I was invisible to them. I wanted to turn and leave, but something held me in place. My heart pounded as I watched them file out of the building. I was irritated by their presence. Before I could react, I felt a strange force, like an invincible hand, pulling me forward. I stumbled, unable to resist, as it dragged me towards the entrance of the building. The pull was strong and relentless, and no matter how much I tried to fight it, I was drawn deeper into the shadow of the building. Inside the building, the deeper I went, the more I felt like I was entering another world entirely. The building was unfinished on the outside, but what lay within was something far more shocking. As I was pulled further in, I found myself standing in a hidden chamber, vast and well organized. It was like a secret factory, a place where things were made and hidden from the eyes of the world. As I stood in the chamber, my eyes were drawn to the walls. They were covered in strange writings and symbols. The characters were unfamiliar, almost like some secret language meant only for those who understand its dark purpose. I moved closer, tracing the strange markings with my eyes, trying to make sense of them, but the more I stared, the more they seemed to blur and twist. As I continued to explore the room, my gaze fell on something even more alarming. In all corners of the chamber, small flags were placed, flags of the country of China. This wasn't just some isolated operation, it was connected to China, something that spanned beyond borders. In the chamber, my eyes landed on a section of the room filled with shelves upon shelves of boxes. Each one was neatly sealed. They were all attractive. The appearance of the box will make you grab one for yourself before you even think of what is inside of the box. I stepped closer, my heart pounding as I reached for one of the boxes. As I opened it, I found rows of small dark glass bottles carefully packed inside. Each bottle was filled with a thick, syrup-like substance. I picked one up, turning it over in my hands, but there were no labels, no descriptions, nothing to indicate what the syrup was or what it was meant for. Yet, something about it felt so wrong. The way it was packed was so precise, so ready. Suddenly, the scene around me shifted. The dark, secretive chamber faded, and I found myself standing in a street surrounded by the ordinary sounds of life. People hurried past me, going about their day, but something caught my attention: the syrup. The same bottles I had seen in the hidden chamber were now everywhere, neatly stacked in shop windows, displayed in markets, and even sold by street vendors. It was as though the syrup had seamlessly entered the world and no one questioned it. People were buying it without hesitation, handing over money and walking away with their small bottles, oblivious to the hidden truth behind it. It was marketed as something useful, though its exact purpose remained unclear. There were no labels that explained what it was for, but people seemed drawn to it, nothing less. The only thing I remember seeing on the bottle was at the bottom of it. There was a small printed image of a dragon at the bottom of the bottle. Many people did not notice it. The product was spreading quickly from shops to streets into homes and businesses, yet its real use remained a mystery. No one seemed to know exactly what it did, but they didn't care. They simply trusted it, unaware of the dark origins behind it. As I stood there, watching the syrup become part of everyday life, the world had no idea what they were welcoming into their lives. While in the vision, the effects of the mysterious syrup began to reveal themselves. People who had consumed it started to notice strange symptoms at first. Precise changes in their vision. What began as mild discomfort, a light blurriness, soon grew worse. Faces became indistinct, objects appeared out of focus, and soon their world turned hazy like they were looking through a fog. Reports of these vision problems spread, but no one seemed to connect it to the syrup. It was as though people were blinded not just physically, but to the very cause of their ailment. They sought help from doctors and specialists, but no one could find the source of the problem. And all the while, more and more people continued to consume the syrup, unaware of the creeping blindness it brought with it. But that wasn't the end of it. Alongside the spreading of vision problems came a more evil revelation. The newest phones, eagerly purchased by many, had something hidden deep within their hardware. A device, imperceptible to the average user, was embedded in the phones, tracking every movement, every conversation. It was a tool for spying and transmitting private information to unknown places. This invasion was silent, just like the syrup's effect. People's lives were being monitored without their knowledge, and their privacy was stolen bit by bit. It was as if the world had walked straight into a trap, blinded both physically and digitally, and no one knew they were being watched. The more I saw, the clearer it became. This was no accident. The syrup, the devices hidden in phones, the slow erosion of people's vision and privacy, it was all part of a larger, darker plan. The enemy, cunning and relentless, was using these tools to quietly infiltrate lives, clouding judgment and stripping away freedom without anyone noticing. It wasn't just physical blindness that was spreading, it was a spiritual one as well. The devil's agenda had woven itself into the fabric of everyday life, using nations, technologies, and products to carry out its schemes. What seemed like harmless consumer goods were part of a greater deception, designed to control and weaken the masses little by little. For believers, this is a time to be especially vigilant. The enemy works in hidden ways, manipulating systems and hiding in plain sight. We must be watchful not only of what we consume, but of the devices we trust and the conveniences we accept without question. The devil's agenda is often unseen, working behind the scenes, but it is very real. In these times, we cannot afford to be passive or unaware. We are called to stand guard, to discern the truth, and to be wise to the tactics of the enemy. This is a reason where the stakes are higher than ever, and believers must rise to the challenge, staying alert and prayerful, for the days are evil and the battle is ongoing.